Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, too, to Owen Bousman for joining us here on the show. And we're going to have that on our podcast here later on tonight, tomorrow morning. You can visit golftalkradio.com to hear the replay of a fine young gentleman and a great little junior golfer. And you can also get that at iTunes. And we're now on Google Play, which was just added, so you can get Golf Talk Radio anywhere. We're going to go straight to the phones. Our good friend, the one and only Mr. Dave Schmandl with Slick Sticks, your key to better golf, 805-598-9993. You there, David?
You bet. How are you, Michael?
Very good, sir. How be you on this fine Saturday morning?
Well, I'm just trying to stay dry.
I know. What's up with that?
Man, oh, man, it just keeps, it's never going to stop.
It never is going to stop. That's for sure.
Got a guy down the street, he's building a big boat and putting a bunch of animals on it. I don't know what the heck he's up to, but...
2 of each?
Got 2, yeah. Actually got, only put 1 worm in it.
1 worm.
They can do themselves. To say it bluntly. I'm learning from Owen.
Learn from Owen.
Mr. Bousman, just say it as it is. So, Dave, it's good to have you on the show, as always. I hope you are well. We would like to talk to you about your golf instruction business. We know that you're the best club fitter around and your club seller and all of that we've talked about a million times on the show. But what about your golf instruction? How's biz? Can you share something about your swing philosophy, your clientele, what you got going on, that kind of stuff?
Keep your head down, your left arm straight, and hit it hard.
Wow. Well, let me write that down. Head down. So you really believe...
You can never tell anybody. Actually, business is slow right now because of all the rain, but it's going to start picking up again. My biggest philosophy probably in golf is just to be athletic. Be you. And don't try to imitate Tom Watson or Arnold Palmer or any of the people you see on TV. Everybody's different, and I always try to make changes for the player and not necessarily just to match what a golf magazine would say. It was just what seems to work best for the player.
And I would like to clarify, when Dave mentioned those 3 tips at the beginning, he was kidding. Those are 3 of the things that you probably should not do. Keep your head down. Keep your left arm straight. Right, Dave? You got to clarify that. You were just totally, those are big misconceptions in the swing. So I don't know if listeners...
yes, no, that was hopefully a joke.
Yeah.
Because those are the biggest 3 things that most people tell everybody. But those policies, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it keeps us in business. Right?
It certainly does. Boy, keeping your head down, boy, that's ruined a lot of necks out there, that's for sure.
I do love your idea that, of course, everybody's individual and does it differently, so it's hard to try to pick a swing and I'm going to do this or listen to, read something in Golf Digest. That's just one person's opinion. So, but I do think, and this is mine, that even if your brain tries to emulate someone's golf swing, whatever comes out is good. Because I thought I'd like to swing like Watson. My swing was nothing like Tom Watson, but I liked the quick tempo and I tried to emulate him in my brain, not my physical motions, but my mind. Does that make sense? So I didn't copy his swing. I just wanted to copy his movement. So. And there's some swing. You try to emulate Freddie Couples, you might have a nice smooth swing. Won't be anything like Freddie Couples' swing, right?
Right.
But but does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
I've seen my swing on video, and I really always thought it looked very different until I saw it.
Yeah.
And what you feel and what is actually there are quite often very different. And I know one of your big theories, Bill, is that you have to experience the golf game to learn it, and that is so true, because just seeing it doesn't necessarily teach you a dang thing.
There's no question about it, and it's kind of a challenge. I don't know if it's too bad because some places can do it, but a lot of beginner golfers aren't fortunate enough to learn playing the game. They learn skill sets first. They learn striking a ball or learning that the physical motion, not playing but hitting. And I think most people learn better if they learn could play from the get-go. Just it's not always available. It was when we were kids. When I was lucky enough, I was just thrown on a golf course and say, go play. And that's what I did. I was lucky. But that can't happen nowadays very much. So most people are learning the strike or the hit or thinking swing versus thinking playing, and that
Boy, there's a
Right.
difference.
so much difference, no doubt. I think you and I are very similar golf. Dave, you and I have very similar philosophies. I'm almost pretty sure of it. So,
I know there's been a lot of guys I've seen who are absolutely pure ball strikers on the driving range, and boy, oh boy, I love getting in their wallets on the golf course.
no question. Yeah, that's so true. My dad, at least I think so, he was a driving range fanatic. He loved hitting balls, and he would pure it. He was just terrible on the golf course. Such a different game. Isn't that funny? So different.
I bet you I played the game for 2 or 3 years before I ever hit a ball on a driving range.
Yes, they were.
Wow.
Yeah, we were talking that before we started the show today. Obviously, I think I know this answer, but you consider yourself old school or new school? I mean,
Old school.
Yeah, but you use.
Yeah, one thing I notice when I watch the guys on tour, everybody says, how much better they are than they were in the old days, and I just wonder how good they could be if you took away, the learning process of today and put the old school thoughts in it, because I get them mixed up when I watch them on the course, where in the old days, man, oh man, you could see a touring pro from 3 fairways over, and you knew exactly whose swing that was.
Yeah,
because they were all very different. They were all
just
very
having that
individual.
conversation yesterday.
You could go down the range and pick out every player from 100 yards away, and you can tell them who they were.
Yeah.
Now, half of them almost look identical.
I had the
You can-
same
Oh, yeah.
conversation.
You can
You
tell
know.
Jim Furyk.
You can tell Jim Furyk. How great was that finish for Jim Furyk? But
But don't you think so? Taking
I
that,
love
that comment,
Florence.
Dave, like that's something that I think when we talk about Trevino and Nicholas and Palmer and those guys, I think that's a more realistic approach for the amateur golfer than it is to try to emulate, like what you were saying at the beginning of the interview, than to emulate the players of today, because most amateurs don't have a trainer that they're working with all the time. They're not doing the stretching. They're not doing the diet. They're not doing all that stuff. They're not at that level. And I've always believed that just what you said, that the player comes to us with their ability, whatever they have, and whatever they can do to get the club back to square in that impact area. Whatever happens in between that, to me, is not that big of a deal if they can get the result that they want.
Oh, no doubt about it. I still remember a lesson I gave years ago, and I've just kind of made a joke out of it. I was of the golf swing. I said, the biggest deal is you just want to hit the ball in that flat part in the front of the club. And at the end of the lesson, we talked about, we were doing this and that and this, and the student looked at me and said, the best tip you gave me was to try to hit that flat part in the front of the club.
Nice.
Yeah.
no question. And
No question.
How many students I found that they all are thinking golf swing, not playing a shot. Mm-hmm. They think about their golf swing, and that's all they're thinking. On the range, they're thinking about their swing, and they're going through all the 10 pieces they think the golf swing has, and they're trying to make swing after swing after swing and not playing golf shots.
Right.
And that is,
Oh, that's
it's
true.
just, it's really tough. Then they go out in the golf course where they can't just make swing after swing after swing, that they now have to play golf shots and don't know how to do it.
Right.
It's amazing that people focus on the swing much more than they focus on how to play.
Right.
So definitely see you have to be confident in a motion that you make.
Right.
But it's different every time. There's no two golf swings the same. None.
Right.
So
they focus on positions
yeah,
so much.
they focus on.
And, instead of, take the club back and bring it through, that's 2 movements. They've got 15 positions just in the backswing that they were trying to hit. And, Jesus, I just don't know how that can be done.
Yeah, I was watching Golf Channel, and there's some interviewer now are asking a lot of these modern players, do they consider themselves old school, new school? That's why I asked Dave. And it's amazing how many of the new players are saying they're old school. They say, I'm old school because I'm about feel. I'm not about, and then they go off and work on their swing machines, and they're working on all their data, and and they're getting it, they're zoning in on all, what do they call that thing that does TrackMan and stuff. But they say, I'm old school because I'm out there just feeling it around.
Yeah.
Like, Jimmy Furyk, he's a pretty old school golfer. He's just all about feel and visualization and stuff. But it's funny how they all want to be old school. That's what they're saying. It's just not what they are. They didn't grow up in an old school method.
No, and they're most likely being influenced by technology.
Yeah, and they're trying.
whether they know it or
I
not.
think everybody on the tour is influenced by
not,
Yeah,
the,
what-
not the old
You
tour
can't get-
players.
Yeah, exactly.
get away
But
from
not the
that.
champions.
whether they know it or not, like even if, let's say on the tour, say there is a tour guy or a gal in the LPGA who doesn't use or look at video, but the instructor does, that's still using technology.
Yeah, and they
as
still
opposed
use
to
all
like,
the stats.
as opposed to like having a lesson with Harvey Pennick. You know, he's a teacher that went probably as well. I mean, teachers can go by feel as well. They can go by feel and sound.
He was
what they
100%
see.
feel.
Yeah, and they can, as long as they can communicate that to the student so that it's beneficial,
Right.
then that's old school.
So, Dave,
And
I know
now
you
it's,
have you had TrackMan, or you have, is that what you have, Dave, is TrackMan?
Like,
No, I got
Flight Scope. Do you, if you had your druthers, would you rather not use it, or do you use it, or does that you wait for the student to ask for it? I'm just curious.
use it maybe 1 out of 4 lessons.
And is that
There's some people that just love the bells and
Right.
whistles and like to see all the numbers, and I'll pull it out for that. Most of the time when we have a bucket of balls and some clubs and, and go at it, and that's the best way. I find that too often when people use a lot of technology, I'm not saying use technology, but using a lot of technology, they get lost in numbers instead of actually realizing what's going on with the golf swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the DJ made a neat comment because he just says, I want to know the yardage, the wind, the elevation change, and then I pick a club. So he knows all this information.
I
I'm
love
sure.
that.
But
I
he
think
says,
that's so
what's my
cool.
yardage? What's the elevation change? Is it higher or lower than they're
Right.
standing? What's the wind? Give me my 8. I mean, he's got it that simple. Then you heard DeChambeau break it down. Pretty hilarious. You see him breaking down a shot in YouTube? Do you see he was breaking?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, or Phil. Phil
Yeah.
Mickelson himself's got this amazing science going on before he picks a golf club.
Yeah.
But DJ, just give me, what's the wind? What's the yardage? You know, for him, it's mostly wedge.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it's funny.
I was just going to say he only has 2 clubs,
got 2.
driver.
It is true.
You know what's so cool about that? It gave me kind of a
almost true.
flashback to the first job I worked at in the Bay Area at Shoreline Golf Links, and the range was like 350 yards long and 35 stalls wide, real grass, but all around it are like little pine trees. So people are spraying it everywhere, right? So when we would go out and you had to knock balls back into the range from under the trees, we'd always grab a 5-iron. So doing that all the time, you start learning.
You learned how to match the club face with the ball.
Well, you do, but you could also
Right.
you would hit the different targets from next to trees,
Right.
under trees. You never thought about yardage.
You're learning.
Yeah.
You just see the
You're-
target.
You're playing shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was so fun.
Yeah.
Like when I think
Yeah, which
back
is
on
one of the
that.
greatest drills of all time is go out on the first tee with an 8-iron or a 7-iron or a 6-iron and nothing else.
Just
Yeah.
play it. It is.
Yeah.
It's a great way to play golf because it's always a different swing and you're playing different shots.
Right.
Do you need
Yeah.
to hood it to roll it? Do you need, there's
Exactly.
your brain is making you do different things with your hands to get different results. I always result. It's like casting a lure. When I was a kid, I did a lot of fishing, but it's one lure, one club. But you could zip it in, or you can float one in, right? Or you can
Yeah.
you shoot it different yardage. So you visualize your shot with the lure. The same club, same it's one rod, one lure, but you're doing a lot of different shots with it.
Right, right.
And there's feel, and that's what it was. That's when it's Sevy learned with one golf club. What did he have, a 3-iron or something that he's tied to a stick, Dave? Something weird like that. And that's how he learned.
Yeah.
Every shot. How great of a player did he become?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
So that's old school,
Right. Right.
So Dave, what's your typical clientele? Do you teach all types, or do you have group clinics? What do you do?
Oh,
Everything.
absolute first day beginners to touring pros. Just come one, come all.
Nice.
And, I don't really prefer one over the other either. It's just, I enjoy teaching, always have.
Yeah, I think the joy comes from making a difference for me.
Yeah.
Having an impact, if you will.
I'm with you guys
So
on that. too.
I don't know if students know it, but at least as far as I can speak for myself, I work as hard as the student trying to get better with them.
Yeah.
We take it just as personal as they take it. So if they're struggling, we struggling, and we're trying to figure this out as a team, and it hurts if there's no improvement. It's very painful.
Yes.
Doesn't happen often, but it's true. So
I had a lady the other day. And last year she was hitting the ball just fantastically, and she came up to me for a lesson, and I said, "What's going on?" She goes, "I have no clue." And I said, "Well, let's go take a look." And oh man, I don't think I had ever seen her hit. I've probably given her 6 or 7 lessons over the years, and I never saw her hit a single shot as bad as she was hitting all of them. And I said, "Oh God, we got problems going." And we broke it down to a couple of simple things and just went taking half swings and finally started hitting the flat part in the front of the club. And I said, "Okay, now let's try and make a full swing and see what we got." And she just hit it just high, straight, far, the whole, and I had never been so happy in my life. I think here and she was ecstatic.
So there you go. That's a
That's
win-win, and you're both happy. It's amazing, though, how you can back them back a little bit until they find the face again. I always call it finding the face.
Yeah.
But once they find it, how they can go. But the thing is, they don't, on their own, they might not go back down to that little spot. They just stay up and struggle, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and it's confusing.
Right.
But if you just back them down to solid contact,
Right.
finding the face, whatever, if it's 2-inch swing or what, and then they can go up again. It comes right back because it's in there. At least it was if it's in there. Dave, do you have a preference of your fitting world and club building or teaching, or is it all a big passion?
I think they meld into each other. I've had many lessons that turned into club fittings, and I've had a lot of club fittings that turned into lessons where, they didn't need a club. They just need a little swing work, or, they thought they needed some help with the swing, and actually they just needed a club to fit them differently. So they go hand in hand, I think.
Nice. You're fortunate enough that you got both of those talents.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So how
I love
do
that.
people find you, Dave? What's the best way to locate Dave Schimandel?
Best, easiest way is give me a call. Area code 805-598-9993.
Say it again, please.
805-598-9993.
And they can find you out at the Monarch Dunes. If they call, they could get in touch with you as well. Yes.
Out at Monarch just about every day.
All right, buddy. Thank you
Awesome.
thank you for your time, and thanks for being part of the show.
Hey, guys, enjoyed it. Have a great day, okay?
You too.
See you,
Thank you,
Dave.
David. See ya.
Stay dry out there.
We'll do. See ya.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by the Best Hole in One. Looking for that prize package for your upcoming fundraiser tournament? Give bestholein1.com a call. You can call them at 844-923-7844. That's 844-923-7844. They also have a hole-in-one club for you weekend golfers that are out there. You could join that for a monthly or a yearly annual fee. It's around $75. You hit a hole-in-one, you'll win $2,500, but you have to visit bestholein1.com for more information. Don't forget you build your own prize contests as well for those charity fundraiser tournaments. Golf ball cannons, golf ball drops, cash prizes, cars, travel options, you name it. It's bestholein1.com. We'll be right back. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy.